Hey Narwhals, and welcome back to some more weight loss stories. Only a small percentage of our viewers actually subscribe. It's free and you can always change your mind later, so please tap subscribe to join the original 200k Narwhals. I'm terrified of who I'll become if I lose more weight. I'm not sure if this post is even going to make any sense, but hopefully someone out there can relate to me on some level. I've been extremely overweight my whole life, to the point where it's become a part of my identity. I hate being overweight, but I also feel comfortable with it in a way. It's all I know. In my mind, I can't even imagine a world where I don't weigh more than my family and my friends. Anyways, to get to the point, I've been losing weight recently and people are starting to notice. Friends have told me, "You're getting skinny," or "Wow, you've lost weight," and it makes me so uncomfortable because I've never heard anyone say that to me before. I'm so scared of being a healthy weight. I know how crazy this sounds, but it just feels like I won't even be myself anymore, and I know people will treat me differently. Does anyone else feel like this? How do you overcome this fear? I can totally understand what you're saying. So when I lost 90 pounds, I was feeling really good, but I went to a work holiday party and made a joke about eating all the cookies. You know, the self-deprecating kind of joke you make to deflect the fact that you're obese and eating all the cookies. So I made the comment, and the reaction I got was just whatever. I was really close to being in healthy BMI at this point, so my comment didn't have the same meaning to the other people at the table. Anyway, it kind of hit me when I said it out loud that I had based so much of my identity on how much I weighed. I didn't put the mental work in and gained back 30 pounds, but I'm trying to get back down now. Losing weight is 90% mental, and it's hard as frig on so many levels. Take time to find out who you are without the weight. As scary as it is, it'll be worth it. I can relate. I was always the big guy, at most times the biggest, the one you ask if a fridge needs to be moved, the one who eats the biggest portions and eats the leftovers of the others. And now I'm the runner who grows his own vegetables. Funny how life plays out. To answer your question, my friends adopted faster to who I was than me. It took me the longest time to accept my new appearance, and I still look in the mirror and feel foreign to myself sometimes. Time will solve that. Anyway, I'm still getting asked for fridge movement. I went from morbidly obese to a healthy weight and didn't notice any negative changes in myself. Still smart, funny, quick-witted, and kind, if I may toot my own horn, but also more confident. I gained the courage of my convictions, not because I look better at a lower weight, but because I lost 120 pounds and proved to myself that I can do hard things. I speak up a lot more, take on scary challenges, and take absolutely no crap. And people do treat me differently, not gonna lie, but I can't help that. However, I can easily shut down things like increased and often inappropriate and mutual attention because I gain so much confidence. As you keep losing, people will comment about it less and less, and eventually you meet lots of people who never knew you at your higher weight, but you'll still be you. I've heard of this happening with people after plastic surgeries as well. For example, they go in to fix their nose, which is much bigger than normal and is making them self-conscious. They walk out with a nose which now looks no bigger than the nose of an average person, and they get all scared when looking in the mirror because that's not what they're used to seeing, and it feels like their face is now missing something. Your current fear is normal. You're going through a big change, and that's scary, but you'll eventually get used to it, and the fear will fade. Hey, I totally relate to that feeling. It's been like this for me too, and moreover, it prevented me from losing weight for quite some time, as I would get scared and regain all the weight back when I would get to a certain weight or a certain look. Please don't be like me and let that push back your progresses and changes. For various reasons, I recently pushed through for the first time, and it is amazing. I discovered that I was still truly feeling like myself, only in a smaller body, but it still feels like my body when I look in the mirror. I also discovered the change in attitude from people was real, but not as nearly as hard as I would imagine. The people who know you actually still see you for your personality. I know it feels like a big part of yourself and your personality right now, but if you're doing this in a way that fits you, then you'll discover that you're still truly you, even though your appearance has changed. A change can be daunting because it takes us out of our comfort zone, but honestly, 95% of the changes are going to be positive and give a positive response, so you should embrace it. Fitting in new clothes, having more energy, feeling healthy, and getting compliments, etc. Weight loss is a gradual process and will give you time to adjust as you progress. You are likely just overthinking it. You aren't going to wake up one day and be skinny. I lost 150 pounds over the course of 18 months, and not being the fat guy was certainly different, but it didn't happen quickly enough to feel jarring. I guess it depends on who you have around you. I understand why you've made your weight your identity. When you are over a certain size, you kind of have to. I definitely had to let that go and look forward to a new version of me. I hope that helps in some way. I totally understand this. While I've never been the largest of my family and friends, my weight has still fluctuated over the years, just due to various factors, example, activity level, work schedule, etc., and I get extremely uncomfortable whenever people pick up on it and comment about it. Weirdly though, it's particularly when I'm losing or have lost weight, I particularly hate that. It's like a value judgment about my body, and I'd rather just be left alone and not have that extra scrutiny, you know? But I echo what people have said here. So long as you're losing weight sustainably and getting yourself to a healthy weight, you'll be so much better and happier afterwards. You're doing amazingly, seeing as though you're having some success. Here's some things you could try to see if that helps. Actively try and shift your self-image to something else. Example, get a hobby and get really into it, and try to steer conversations towards that more often. That way, you can build your self-image into person that does/likes X, and not person who is overweight. Watch videos of other people who have lost weight or are losing weight and talking about losing weight. I particularly recommend Obese to Beast and Beatrice Caruso on YouTube. They're both so great to watch. This might help you kind of see what lies ahead. Nothing scarier than the unknown. You also might want to consider therapy if it's causing you a lot of distress. If you need some help detangling your mental self-image and you're struggling with it on your own, nothing wrong with getting some help. Good luck. I can feel this as well. I've lost over 100 pounds from being my biggest to now. I used to be the fat one of the group, but now I'm not even close. You might even say it was part of my identity. It's a weird shift, because mentally when I look in the mirror, I still see 100 pounds plus me, and other days I see what I've achieved and feel great about it. This is pretty new for me, as I've always been obese, and now I'm like 2 pounds off being overweight. I don't think my mental image of myself has caught up yet with reality, but it will. I think it's best to think of the positive things: having more energy, better fitting clothes, being able to sit on things without a fear of them breaking, and just generally feeling better. The mental stuff will catch up later, hopefully. I understand you. It's like you are losing control of who you are if you change your appearance. You don't know who that person is or will be if you continue to lose weight, and that's an uncomfortable feeling. I don't know what you can do about that except be mindful of it. You are still yourself. You have to keep maybe reminding yourself of that, but also owning how you can change. Throughout your life, you will change, physically, emotionally, socially even. It won't happen all at once, although with your recent physical changes, it will take time for your mind and body to get on the same page. I have fluctuated weight drastically several times and noticed the shifts in people's perception of me. The important parts of your personality are not the parts that change based on how you look. You will always have your past experiences to draw from. That knowledge and wisdom will always be there. Even if you forget it, you may remember it again over time. We are all constantly moving towards becoming a more complete version of ourselves. That you are making this change shows that you have already become the skinnier person. You are a hardworking, perseverant individual who will reap the rewards of their efforts. Embrace being healthy. Are these my legs? I'm riding this in my car. I'm still incredibly excited, so please excuse any errors. So I've started my weight loss on January 4th of this year, the usual calories in, calories out, and intermittent fasting. My starting weight was 89.9 kilos, and my current weight as of today is 84.3. So yeah, my weight loss is not tremendous, but it's honest work. Today, I went as an advisor to help my dad pick his new formal shoes. It was my first time in a long while wearing jeans instead of rocking the usual sweatpants t-shirt duo. You know how they have these big wall-length mirrors at shoe shops, right? So I was wandering around the store, waiting for my dad to try another pair, and something suddenly caught my eye. I took a few steps back, looked in the mirror critically, and oh my god, are these my legs? Are these my calves? Calves that are not so meat in the middle? That don't look so friggin' swollen? No, are you serious? Is this not a prank or one of those reality-bending mirrors? Am I dreaming? My legs, especially my calves, have always been one of my biggest insecurities. I'm short, 1.64 meters, so my weight is distributed everywhere on my body, especially on my short legs. My calves have always been really big and meaty, for lack of a better word. I always felt ashamed of them, and I avoided wearing dresses and shorts, or even knee-length and calf-length pants, because I thought they looked awful. Even my family always commented on that. The change is not that big. It's not like I suddenly have supermodel legs or something. They're just a little slimmer, but the change is there, and I can see it. I'm teary-eyed right now. Gosh, I'm so happy. I've had trouble seeing any real changes with my weight loss, despite other people complimenting me on that, and despite me documenting my weight loss in pictures, and it kind of hinged on my motivation. But now, seeing my ugly calves just a little less ugly, I'm all over the moon, truly. I wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for one post from the subreddit urging me to be one of the people sharing and celebrating their weight loss results by the end of March. Thank you r/lose it. I know there's still a long way to go for me, but this time, I'm not giving up. And you, the person reading this, whatever the difficulties, you also should not give up on anything. Let's keep going together. Yesterday, I gave away 3 cardigans that had gotten too long for me, and I'm very short too, so they looked silly on me, so I gave them to a friend, but OMG, I was absolutely buzzing with happiness, so I totally understand your joy about your legs. I've obviously lost weight on my shoulders to make this happen, and I just wasn't seeing it in the mirror, but saw it in my clothes. It's just such an amazing feeling and really makes this Seco, which is hard, worthwhile. We can do this, all of us. Congratulations on your progress. And that brings us to the end, Narwhals. And please tap subscribe to join the original 200k Narwhals. And lastly, here's our featured Narwhal of the Day. Giving up regular binging saved my life. Depression and anxiety are still there, but are manageable now with a healthier lifestyle. 2017 to 2021.